Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do an episode on party food because you know, the Super Bowl's coming up, so there's no better time to get in the spirit, wow your guests, be the host with the most, make some lovely food and some delicious cocktails. So on today's menu, we're gonna be serving cauliflower wings, onion rings, loaded potato skins, and a bloody lovely Bloody Mary. Now, if you're like me and you don't really know anything about American football because it's too complicated, there's too many rules, far too many commercials, people spend most of their time talking about the lacklusting halftime performance, and plus I like proper football, you know, the one where we kick it with the foot, the biggest sport in the world. But anyway, if your strength isn't in watching the game, it can certainly be in hosting and making people feel good, and no better way than serving up some delicious, beautiful food and cocktails. So for the food, I want to make it really easy and simple because you want to be there, you want to be present, you want to be hosting. So to show you how easy these recipes are, I'm going to cook them all using the Cosori air fryer. You guys have heard me rave on about how much we love using our Cosori, and not just because we use it for everything, and not just because it's easy to use for anybody, and not just because it's the #1 ranked air fryer on Amazon with thousands of reviews, and not only because they're sponsoring this video, but because it's so easy, it's so delicious, and it's so fast. So we're going to show you and kick things off with cauliflower wings. So I'll be honest, buffalo chicken wings is something I miss. Well, it's something I used to miss until recently I started to learn that with great power comes the cauliflower. And the cauliflower is so good because it really brings in the flavors, the texture's great. Okay, maybe it's not quite as good as a chicken wing, but there's no harm and it's a little bit healthier. So we're gonna give it a little chop. We wanna take off the leaves. We just wanna chop each little trunk off. And what I love is because you're doing this from home, you're getting the ingredients yourself, it means it's cheaper, right? If I was to have this dish at, say, Buffalo Wild Wings, that'd be $12.50 for the cauliflower wings. But today, this cauliflower cost me $3.99, and that's from Whole Foods. And with the extra little mini bits, it's no more than $6, $7. So you're saving a lot more money, and I promise you it's gonna taste just as good. And plus, the Buffalo Wild Wings one is over 1,000 calories. That's crazy. This is not 1,000 calories, and that's partly because the air fryer uses 85% less oil because it blends a lovely fusion between frying and baking. Right, cauliflower is done. We're gonna throw them in a bowl. Perfect, set that aside. Then we'll get another bowl. Then we'll get 3/4 of a cup of flour. Then we'll get our spices, paprika, onion powder, and garlic powder, some salt and pepper. Give it a mix. Then we'll get 1/2 cup of milk. I'm using almond milk. We'll add it slowly as we whisk. Then we'll slowly add 1/2 cup of water. Give it a good mix. You don't want any lumps here. Then we'll add our florets and get them nice and coated. And then I'll just lay them out on parchment paper for a couple of minutes to let any excess batter run off. Right, so we'll get our cauliflower, air fryer, spray it with avocado oil, and then place our cauliflower in. Spray with a bit more. Then I'm gonna cook this at 350 for 15 minutes. And then while that's cooking, we're gonna make the buffalo sauce. So we need a bowl with a bit of butter. We need it melted. And then we're gonna get our buffalo wings sauce. Lovely, I'm going for mild. I can't handle it too spicy. Pop it in there, about 1 cup. Then I'm gonna add the juice of about 1/2 lime. Adds a bit of freshness. Give it a little mix. Perfect, and then we'll set that aside. Right, let's have a look. Oh, perfect. They're looking brown, they're looking crispy and delightful. Let's get a bowl. Then we'll get a buffalo hot sauce. Pour it over. Give it a nice coat. Now our lovely cauliflower wings are ready to serve. Right, so next up, we're going to be making onion rings. I mean, everybody loves an onion ring, right? They're so crispy, they're so delicious. But if we want to make it fresh, we make it from home, from scratch. It's so easy. We gotta get an onion. So a method I learned is just to slice a tiny bit off the edge here. Just enough for it to be stable. We want to do about 1/2-inch slices. Then what we want to do is we take off the first couple of layers, and then we just want to push out each little ring. And then next, you know when you get an onion ring and sometimes you just bite it and then you just get the onion pulls out and it gets hot and it hurts your chin and then you got just the bread bit on its own? No good, right? That's because the membrane has been left in, and the membrane is this very fine little layer inside each ring that you just want to pull out. And there's a little membrane. You want to get rid of it because you don't want it to get too insane in the membrane. See guys, if you have anyone over to your house and you've made homemade onion rings, you know, everyone's gonna have a nice time. Be interesting to know as well, like from you guys, who enjoys hosting and who hates hosting. I feel like it's one or the other, right? And it's probably more of a who's an introvert and who's an extrovert question. I realize how important energy is, right? When you have friends over, sometimes it can just feel off. The vibe can feel a bit weird. And sometimes all it takes is just putting some music on, getting the vibe right, making sure each guest has a drink in hand, making sure if there's people that don't know each other, you try and find some common ground for them to get talking. Right, the onion rings are looking lovely. Next for the batter, we'll get a bowl. I'm gonna mix in half a cup of beer. I'm going with Modelo. I love a Modelo. So half a cup, just get that beer battered vibe. A dash of Tapatio. Then we're gonna crack in an egg. Right, give it a little mix. Bit of a weird mix so far, isn't it? Egg, beer, and hot sauce. Then we're just gonna add our flour bit by bit. Keep mixing as we introduce until we get a nice, like pancake mix. And then I'm just gonna add this to a shallow dish. So our wet batter is done. Then for our dry ingredients, we need 1 cup of breadcrumbs. I'm gonna put a dash of garlic powder, a dash of onion powder, some salt, and pepper. Then we want to give it a little mix. Lovely. Then get some parchment. Then I'm going to add the onion ring to the batter first. Get it completely covered. Then I'm just going to let the excess batter drip off for a second. Then I'll put it in the bread. And I'm just going to cover. Perfect. And then I'll rest the first one on the parchment paper. And then we just repeat. Now our onion rings are looking lovely. Let's pop out the air fryer. Give it a spray with avocado oil. Then we place our onion rings inside. Give them another spray. Then we want to cook this at 360 for about 7 to 8 minutes. Right, let's take a look. And our lovely onion rings are good to serve. Right, so next up, we're gonna be making loaded potato skins. They're delicious, they're nutritious, they're tasty, they're crispy, they're fluffy. They've got all of it. So all we're gonna need, already cooked baked potatoes. Then we wanna cut them in half. And if you don't know how to bake a baked potato, cover it in some olive oil, throw it in the air fryer for like 45 minutes, and you're done. Easy. Perfect. Then we just wanna scoop out some of the insides. And I know some of you guys aren't into sports at all, right? That kind of feeling of, you know, someone who kicks a ball gets paid more than people that save lives, right? It's a weird feeling. But what it does do, it does so much for the community, right? For the cities, for the towns. It doesn't matter what their jobs are, what their background, their race, anything. It's everyone coming together for the same love. And that's what sports really offers, which is really nice. Right, lovely, the potatoes are looking good. Then we're gonna get some freshly washed bella mushrooms and then give them a fine chop. And then for the bacon, I'm getting my absolute favorite, Sweet Earth bacon. It's so good, it's got that hickory flavor. It's the closest thing I found to real bacon. Then I'm gonna give them a chop. We'll give it a spray. Then we'll add our mushrooms and bacon. Then we'll put these on 360 for about 7 minutes. Perfect, looking nice and crispy. Now we get our baked potatoes. We're gonna get some shredded cheddar cheese. Then we'll get our mushroom and bacon mix. We'll add some salt and pepper and a little more cheese on top. And then carefully place our potatoes in. Then we'll give the top a spray of avocado oil. And then we'll pop back in the air fryer until the cheese is nice and melted. Right, so we'll get our serving plate. We'll have a look. Oh yes, these are looking beautiful. Then we'll get a nice dollop of sour cream over each one. Then we'll just top some lovely spring onions. Now our lovely loaded potato skins are ready to serve. Right, so last but certainly not least, We're gonna be making a bloody lovely Bloody Mary. This is such a beautiful, spicy, rich drink that will just wow any guest if they weren't impressed already. So what we're gonna need, shake with ice. We're gonna add 2 ounces of vodka. I'm using Grey Goose. Pop it in. Then we want 3/4 of a cup of tomato juice, a good amount of lemon, a dash of Worcestershire sauce, just a dash. I'm gonna add a couple of dashes of Tapatio, get that spice, a little dash of horseradish, and then a tiny bit of salt. Then we wanna give it a good mix. Perfect, then we'll get a glass with ice, sieve it over, pop in a lovely celery stalk, and then I've got some pitted olives. Get them on a toothpick, and then just a cheeky bit of lime. And there you have it, our bloody lovely Bloody Mary is good to serve. Right, babe, ready for the sports match?
Go sports!
What even is that?
I think is it hockey? Is it football?
And obviously I'm wearing a soccer jersey, a football jersey, so
True football.
proper football. But it doesn't mean we can't enjoy all the food that comes with it, you know? Because while everyone else is shouting at the TV, we'll just eat, right?
Right. This is my favorite part about sports.
Here, babe, let's start things off with a nice little bloody lovely Bloody Mary.
Ooh.
That's quite good.
I love a Bloody Mary. This used to be my favorite drink of choice, actually.
Yeah, especially when we're a little bit hungover as well. It was always, the hair of the dog.
Right.
It's kind of like your perfect, concoction.
It was. If I was an alcoholic beverage, I would probably be a Bloody Mary. Spicy, savory.
You can't have too much, otherwise you'll get a spicy butt.
I want to try your onion rings. Wow, so these are onion rings without all the oil.
Without all the oil.
Wow.
It's good.
They're so light and crispy.
Yeah.
These are one of your classics.
Yeah, it's a staple for us. Cheers, babe.
Cheers. These are so good. This is
Yeah.
a Super Bowl of veg.
Yeah. Cheeky loves carrots. She could hear the sound of us biting into a carrot, which is why she's here. Right,
Alright.
loaded potato skin. This has got some mushroom, a bit of bacon. The bacon gives it the saltiness. The sour cream brightens it up a little bit. So guys, if you're doing any hosting, having people over, make some lovely food, make it with love, bring the good vibes. For now, thank you guys so much for watching. If this wasn't enough for you, you can head over to Cooking with Kasori's YouTube page to get some more tips and tricks from them. For now, I've been Ben, you have been fantastic, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.